Chaz.
I'm Dan.
And this is the Wine is Serious Business Show, episode 71. Exciting show. Dan was able to pick up some splits at Ken Wright 09.
Coming back to Oregon.
Yeah, and this is always one of my favorite times of the year when all the new Ken Wright releases come out. Get a chance to finally sample them. Love his wines consistently good wine.
Yeah, for decades, right? He's one of the first big name Oregon producers and consistently does pretty good stuff. And you know, in case you're right, they have been out for a little while, but it's taking us some time.
94 was the first vintage. Oh,
really? Okay.
Were you talking about something else?
No, I was talking about these wines. Like they weren't just released this week. Like we know they've been out for a while, whatever.
Right.
We're just getting the show together right now. But
yeah,
I don't know. Do you know the history? Is it?
Yeah. So I think his first vintage was 94 because I've had his 94 Shea and 94 Canary Hill. And I remember we were like kind of going on and on about the wine cellar. Like this is his first vintage that he bottled Ken Wright. Like before he worked for was it Domaine Serene and
Panther Creek, I think.
And Panther Creek, and that's when So yeah,
cool history. He goes way back. Solid producer.
His wines age awesome.
Really well distributed. So most of you who are watching this, you can find this stuff around.
And good pricing. Across the board, usually between 45 and 52, $53 a bottle. So
yeah, which interestingly enough, a few years ago, we're like, it's a little on the higher side. Even as that little bit of time's gone by, this is now, I think, very reasonably priced and
absolutely
consistent quality. And these are all 2009s.
A little cold.
Okay, it's all right. We can warm them up. And 2009 was a warmer year as well, so it should be somewhat different from 2008. I haven't noticed any trends or anything that I'd say consistent, across the 2009 vintage, but
no, it reminds me of kind of almost a little bit like 07, but brighter fruit.
Okay, cool.
Still decent acidity, but I haven't had enough of them to try. I can only say it from the small amount of 09s I have tried. So.
And man, I read something great on Wine Berserkers recently. Somebody said classifying wine based on vintage is almost always an overgeneralization. And I'm like, with some thought, that's probably pretty right.
Yeah. All right, so we should probably talk about what we're drinking. We are drinking 2009 Ken Wright Cellars. This is the Guadalupe vineyard. Yeah.
We may never know.
Well, I think we asked this question last time we drank this.
Probably.
Is this
and nobody set us straight.
Come
on, help us out.
We're running with it. 14.4 alcohol. Yeah, that's it. So, what does it say? Does it say anything special? Wilkinson type soil at 350 foot elevation, and it was planted in 1989.
So Dundee?
Dundee Hills. Yeah.
Yes, okay. I thought it might be.
It is Dundee Hills.
My favorite AVA. Your favorite AVA?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to talk about consistency and just wines that are ultimately pleasurable, then yes, Dundee Hills is pretty much where it's at. So.
Whoa, funk.
Yeah. Big time sort of earthy aromas,
And like some tangy raspberries in the back, but definitely like that. Yeah, the tree bark, like tree bark on the ground.
Yep. Really, really bright red fruit, but man, like the earthy notes, the sort of funky earthy notes here are really, really cool.
And like some green shrubs too, and a lot of times they talk about green like stemmy or like green seeds, and that's not what's going on at all. It's not like that tart green, it's like an underbrush green that I'm getting.
Smells delicious.
Yeah.
I'll just go with it.
Acidity touches the mouth right away. I'm getting, again, more red fruits like strawberry and raspberry flavors.
Wow, and it's pretty tannic. I mean,
yeah.
The tannins sort of overwhelmed me for just a split second there. Let me take another taste, and a little bit of detectable heat on the finish.
Boy, just barely. Not enough to put me off too much, I don't think. The more tart fruits in the beginning kind of evolve into some cherry fruits later on the palate. And this is really drying me out.
Yeah, very drying.
Like pretty full tannins, lots of acidity. And I'm a huge fan of acidity in wine. And this is even a lot for me. But the fruit's bright and clear and
sort of like grapefruity.
Nice.
Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, like heavy, like a really, really strong grapefruit acidity. Not so much. There is a little bit of ruby red in there, but man, it's just like.
And there's just a hint of the silky tannins that I really like that you get sometimes from Dundee Hills, and probably, other Pinot across the board, but there's just a little touch of this that kind of shows some promise. And what strikes me right away is like, I like some of the flavors. I'd really like to give this another 6 months to kind of integrate, come together, and see where it goes. I like a lot of what's going on, but I think it'll improve pretty dramatically with even a short period of time.
Yeah, this is a very interesting bottle. Would be willing to purchase this and sit on it for at least a year. 88 plus.
Yeah, 88 even for me now, but definitely potential for more. I'm excited to try more. And I think almost anyone would agree that 2009s right now, this is definitely the kind of like cutting edge of release. These are early 2009 releases.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, there are still some 2008s that we're waiting
Sorry.
for. I know, that's fine.
You drink it?
Yeah, totally.
It's
Friday night,
we're not doing shit.
Trying to put together a real website. We've been keeping you guys on the line for that for over a year now, so hopefully, it's got to happen in 2011.
Yeah, it'll happen. Moving right along, we got the McCrone 2009. Consistently a fantastic vineyard.
This is the winner for 2008.
Yeah. Out of our 2008 show, yeah.
Yeah, big favorite of one of our friends and fans, Thomas. We know you love the McCrone. Thanks for watching.
And when we opened this, or I opened this down at the cellar, got a couple comments on it. I opened in 08.
Oh.
And they were just like, oh, it's amazing, right? So.
How'd you do that, man?
What? You were there.
When?
It was when you opened the 02.
Oh, that night. Okay.
Or not Evsham. Domaine Serene.
No.
I wanted to call. Yeah, it was a Serene.
Yeah.
Serene Guadalupe vineyard.
Yeah, that's right.
We're babbling again. All right, guys. 2009.
Ton of fun for you, I'm sure.
McCrone, yeah.
Ooh, more dark, earthy notes again. Oh, look at grinning.
Smells almost like poop. Yeah, it's not overwhelming the flavors here. There are some really, really nice red cherries and strawberries here.
I totally agree with the cherries. I mean, you got a little floral note going on too, like maybe I don't know my flowers at all. I'm leaning towards roses, but yeah.
Yeah, kind of like I was gonna say sort of like the cherry fields when they're all in blossom and.
Wow, nice. Yeah, go for that.
Going with it. All right, that's it. Yeah, the cherry notes are here. There is something lightly floral, and you got a little definite earthy, poopy sort of sense.
Oh, mouthfeel on this is great already. The tannins are building up a little later, kind of drying things out, giving it a little bit of grip, but it's not really rough. I really like how it starts out on the palate.
And the evolution of the acidity on this is pretty kick-ass. The acidity hangs in for a long time. I'm still tasting the wine.
Really good cherry flavors, and it's like the full bite of cherry where you get the skins, and like you get the flavor of the pit, like the pit's there, but you don't make the mistake of biting into it. But you get a lot of the fruit of the cherry, and you taste the pit a little bit in the skin. It's full. Again, it starts out great.
And whereas I was able to detect a small amount of alcohol on the Guadalupe, I can't detect it on the McCrone, even though it says 14.5 alcohol.
McCrone's Yamhill Carlton, right?
Yes, Yamhill Carlton, 450-foot elevation, 115 and 777 clones, and yeah, owned by the McCrones.
And my impression of Yamhill Carlton is that it's usually much darker in style, and this doesn't necessarily
portray that.
Deliver that. I'd say this is a lighter style for Yamhill Carlton. Again, definitely showing a bit of our amateur nature here. It's not like we've got 20 years of experience with all the AVAs. These are the impressions that we have at this point. Really impressed with this, and again, this great entry, and then a little more structure than I really care for late, like as the tannins grip up, but that's the perfect thing to have a little too much of as far as ageability is concerned. This is another thing that I'm enormously excited about. This I'm more thinking like 6 months for integration. This one, like a year is what I'm most excited about trying. Like it's really good right now, actually 89 plus for me right now, and I bet after a year or two in bottle, this could be spectacular.
Unfortunately, I think this is one of our shows where we almost line up entirely the same. And this happens when we're drinking good Oregon Pinot, so I was going to go 89 plus as well.
Yeah.
Because this really is right on the cusp of being a fantastic wine. Just like Dan said, with a little bit of time in bottle, this could be truly amazing. So, many of the
and why not, right?
The pairing of bright fruit with the structure and the evolution of the entire experience, fantastic wine. So really, but it just needs some more time.
And the best 2009 I've had to date, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So.
I won't do you like I did you last time.
We've got an exciting month coming up. I hope you guys are excited about it too. We've got another interview that we're going to shoot next weekend, so it'll probably be up in a couple weeks. I'm not exactly sure when. We've got some more cool samples. We've got a whole lineup of wines from Santorini, and we've got some really unique and kind of weird Austrian wines that we should have a great guest on to help us out with too. So there should be a lot of interesting shows coming up in the near future. Really looking forward to them.
Yeah, stoked for that. You know, I haven't had a single one of the 08s that we're tasting at the for the interview.
Are you serious?
I haven't had a single one. So it's gonna be like when I go in for the show, completely blind. Like,
wow.
Yeah, stoked. I'm actually really excited.
Yeah, it's honest impression, right? I've been out there so much. So many friends are like, yeah, let's go wine tasting. Let's go wine tasting. It's like, oh, I twist my arm. Okay, that sounds like a good thing to do this weekend. Again, I love it. Yeah, so I've been out there a lot lately. Always blessed. Good stuff. Yeah, I'd be happy.
All right, this is the Shea, big name in Oregon as far as single vineyards go.
Well, most overrated vineyard in Oregon, as far as I'm concerned.
Sick burn. 2009 Pinot. This is, where is this? It's Ian Hill Carlton. I didn't know that. 450 foot elevation. Beautiful vineyard. Beautiful vineyard.
Super famous, right? Like a number of bottlings from this vineyard have gone big score wise. It shows up on restaurant lists, whatever. Easily the most famous vineyard out of Oregon, right?
It is.
You know when high-end producers from California are buying fruit from it, that the hype is there.
That said, there are many single vineyards in Oregon that are as good or better.
In my experience,
Just
right?
saying.
I've had
Just
good
saying.
wines from Shea. Would I list that amongst my top 5 even? It doesn't make the cut. Certainly, perhaps I missed out on wines that could change my mind, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, but it was one of the first ones, right? To like break through that mold of like Oregon wines. This is what it can be. This is the potential, and that's possibly why it's so famous. And
totally right. And good wines came from it, and
they still continue to do. Not knocking on it. It's just the money thing has gotten.
Sure. Yeah. Overrated. Not that it's bad.
This smells pretty awesome though.
Again, lots of
This smells fucking good.
It's bringing the funk all the way across the board.
This isn't poopy. This is a brighter sort of foresty smell, and the fruit here, I'm feeling a lot more than the previous two. It's just, I don't know, cleaner, and the acidity's not jumping out of the glass like it was in the previous two. Like the previous two, you could sense the acidity on the nose, and this is just sort of lusher and I don't know. No, not so much.
We're gonna diverge here. I'm not digging the nose as much.
Okay.
This is
more fruity.
It's funky too, and I'm getting kind of like some feet as opposed to earthy forest floor. I mean, there's a little bit of both going on, but the nose isn't as enjoyable to me. Definitely.
You're wrong.
Sure, yeah, there we go. What do we know about wine anyway? We've got, I'm getting like some cherry skins and definitely still some fruit, and the things that I'm not appreciating as much definitely aren't enough to throw me off of it. Mitigates the excitement a bit. There's some good acidity showing on the nose already too. That kind of has me a little excited. That's pretty cool.
It's not over the rest of the fruit though. And what I was saying about previously was that the other two were strong acidity, and this is a bit more, I guess, a balanced aroma in the glass. I don't know. And the cherries here kick ass.
Really nice, soft entry, like bright cherry skins, a little bit of strawberry fruit, I think. Interesting evolution, totally different.
Yeah.
Actually, all of these wines are really distinct, and this is a lot of fun.
This has almost got a little bit of a minerality on the finish, like a chalkiness, sort of, like crushed stone or like something like you busted a tooth or something like that, and you got that sort of taste in your mouth.
I can see that. A nice. Here, the structure has a nice balance to it. It's a little more gentle, and it's drying things out. Yeah, actually, later I'm really getting that chalky sensation now, kind of right down the middle. But it's definitely a little more reserved, a little more sophisticated at this point than the other two.
Drinking better than the previous two right now. That said, doesn't have the sort of crazy evolution that this one did.
Yeah.
This one was, I think, a little more exciting, but this one is a bit more elegant at this point. Like, it's a bit more sophisticated. Like
the fruit comes right to you. You get like strawberries with the seeds on them, maybe just a little bit of blackberry juice, and the structure works gently, kind of along the sides, along the back of the palate. And they said he's slowly drying things out. Actually, as I'm even talking about it, I'm feeling my mouth dry out a little more. Kind of a nice sensation.
Yeah, the structure here is very balanced to the fruit. And the intensity is really, really nice, like a medium-high, without being heavy or goopy as, like, say, like 06. I know this was another high vintage. This is quite good. I like this a lot. I like all these a lot. Don't get me wrong. These are fantastic. I'm going to go 90 points on this one. Just because of the balance. I'm a big guy on balance. I like the complexity of the evolution of the... It's all structure on this one, whereas this one is, I think, the more complete package currently. This might become better, but I don't know.
I'm going to go 87. So we are going to deviate pretty significantly here. 87 plus. It's on the higher end of it. Still a solid wine. But while no, I'm just wrong. Apparently. While I like some of the flavors, none of the components individually are getting any excitement out of me, and like I had different feelings about the nose. I guess I am kind of struck by how it's drying, but the flavors aren't as compelling to me, and
I like the fruit profile more on this one than the previous two.
There you go, and that makes a ton of sense because the fruit is different. This is definitely, I'd say, more strawberry driven. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, and for whatever reason,
a bit more upfront with it. Like,
sure.
It comes to you, like you say, it comes to you right away. It's very easy to understand. Yeah.
But still rock solid, and it's nice to deviate a little bit to really highlight the point that people have different tastes.
Absolutely.
You should drink what you like. Solid 3 wines. We're really happy to share this show for you. Question of the day is going to be really easy, but a little bit restricted. I know those of you in Taiwan, I'm sorry, probably aren't going to be able to answer this. Those of you in Oregon, I know some of you have had Ken Wright releases already, especially those of you in the business, those of you who go to trade tastings. What is your favorite Ken Wright 2009 release?
Well, all right.
Cheers. See you for 72.